What's going on, boy? It's your boy Leedoe in this motherfucker again, man. You know what I'm saying? Today, we got Leah, you know what I'm saying, and we got Nell. They're off camera, you know what I'm saying? They're kind of camera shy today, but I am here. I am here. What's going on? What's going on? So, Janelle kind of has a conversation that she wants to have. You know what I'm saying? Last night we had a conversation really dealing with the confrontation that America has now involved himself in Iran. That's what we had a conversation about last night. If you want to see that, that video should be somewhere below us right now in the, I guess, view next, the view next thing. But like right now, we're going to have a conversation. Janelle kind of wants to switch the feeling of what we're talking about. So, Janelle, what was that question you want to ask?
No, so I usually get these daily quotes, right? So today I decided to read the quote with me and Leah. So I'm like, I thought it was pretty good, so I wanted to share it, right? So today's daily quote, it says, "Call it hard and you miss the flash and easy button. Your words create your world experience. Is it hard? What makes it so? What level of resistance greets and it's so hard knock?" So an alternative to that, to change how you think about something that is hard. What's the least difficult, most efficient path forward in this situation? What's the with ease and flow attitude, action and allowing? These questions shift the atmosphere. So my whole thing was, instead of saying that something is hard or difficult, just train your brain to think of it in a different way.
Okay. I got you. So basically, what you're trying to say is like, instead of walking to situations like this completely hard. Oh my God, walk into it like this is easy. I can tackle it. I can knock it out. I can do it.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah, definitely.
How you feel about that, Lee? How you feel?
Well, I was saying to Janelle that my father used to say, "Can't is not a word." So I can't do it. I can't do it. It was always, you got to do it. You got to do it. You can do it.
Yeah, that's how my dad taught me too. He used to say there's no such word as can't.
My
You
dad
limit
always
yourself.
taught me can is very possible, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to do it. There are people that can't do this, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. That's how we were taught. I'm not saying that you will be able to do everything that you set your mind to. You probably won't, but that doesn't mean that you can't try. Because at the end of the day, I want to be a millionaire. That's not saying that I will be a millionaire, but I guarantee one thing: if you don't do it, you won't be a millionaire. You don't try, you won't be a millionaire.
Yeah.
But there are people that can't be millionaires. But that doesn't mean they still can't try to do it.
Yeah, I felt that way after I had the stroke. I couldn't talk. Like, I could think of the words I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it. But if I gave up and didn't go to speech therapy, I'd still be struggling to talk like I was when I first had the stroke. It took time, to go on.
See, that's why I say
But I feel like it's like shifting your mind to not make yourself, but shifting your mind knowing that you can do it though. Like, it is with the whole trying thing, but I know I can do this.
yeah, but you might not be able to.
Yeah, it was.
So
it
Ken
was
is very
frustrating.
real. I'm not gonna say I feel like our parents did teach us correctly in their the best they could. So the whole can is not a word. You can't. There are people that cannot build a car, but if you never try, you never will find out. We know you are guaranteed to fail if you never start. If you never get moved, you're guaranteed to fail. That's a guarantee. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't want to teach our kids to say like, yeah, can is in your vocabulary. Can is very real, but there are people that can't do things. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to do it. Just because you feel like it may be hard doesn't mean that you can't accomplish it. It'll take a lot more. I feel like winning in a situation that you felt you couldn't feel so much better. Like winning a basketball game where you felt like, man, these dudes are 7'3" and you win. It feels that much better than sitting on the sideline like, I knew he was gonna beat me, man. I knew, like, why? Just try. It'll feel that much more satisfying by winning.
It's the words that we speak. We have to change how we think and how we speak certain words too. I mean, all of that, ties hand in hand. Does that make sense?
I don't know, but I believe in manifestation to a certain extent. I believe that, yeah, you can speak something into existence, but I also do believe that you must go do it. Even if you tell yourself, I can't go here, or I can't do this, even if you say that, the only thing that will guarantee what you're saying is if you never go try. If you never go try, you definitely can't do it.
My dad used to say it too. Like, well, his whole thing was with the whole can't. You better figure out a way. Like, there's always a loophole. There's always a way to do things. If the front door is locked, guess what? You go through the window. You can't go through the window. You try to shimmy that shit. You figure out how to get where you need to get to.
But that's why. But that's
to overcome that.
But he basically just limited it when he said can isn't a word. To me, I feel like can is definitely a word. I don't want to tell people can isn't a word because it is. There are people that can't do things. That's like a paralyzed person. You tell them you can't walk. You can't
But
literally.
there are some that really, in their mind, they made themselves, like, they really manifested and believed that they could do it, and they did it.
No, but
they didn't limit anything.
But
like,
them believing that can isn't a word isn't what did that.
They accepted it. They accepted it.
Boom. But that's exactly what I'm saying. You can is the word. Some people can't. But I know one thing: if you never try, you never will. If you never try to walk, you won't ever walk. Just like Leah said, she had her stroke. If she had just really gave up, said, "I can't talk right now." Well, yeah, you won't, because if you don't ever try, you're not gonna be able to talk. But once you start telling yourself, right now I can't talk, but I'm gonna force myself to try and learn to get to gain that strength. I feel like that's where we are limiting ourselves when we say can isn't a word. Yeah, it's like you tricking yourself into believing that my leg is gonna reappear. I can't. No, get up. It's action. You have to put action behind the words.
It all goes. Like I said, it all goes like
together.
Mm-hmm. Like, you can't do one without the other. You need the other part for it to work.
Right.
But there are people for real life that don't apply all of it together. Like, you can speak it, you can try to manifest it, but if you don't believe in it and put action behind it, it's not gonna work. So it's like people say things, but they don't believe it.
In your personal opinion, do you feel that you can do anything? Anything. It don't matter what it is. Right now, Janelle, in your age that you are, do you believe right now you can become the president of the United States?
If I work hard at it, I probably could.
I believe.
But I don't think I will.
But see, but I'm saying, but situations like that is a very real possibility that you can't do that.
But what if I could? Donald Trump did it.
No. See, but that's the whole thing. I say that there are people that work their whole lives for things, believing that I'm not gonna say can't, but you really can't do this. You really right now, if you want to be an astronaut, you really can't do it. You really can't. It is not even like don't tell me I can't. You can try, but that doesn't stop that you can't do it. There are people that literally have devoted their lives to doing this. Just like right now, okay, my dream, guys, for those of you who don't know me, those of you who do know me, you know what I'm talking about. My dream is to become a NASCAR driver. I love driving fast. I want to drive a NASCAR. I've drove NASCAR. I literally know if right now I wanted to go the traditional route to becoming a NASCAR driver, I can't do it. I can't. But I've realized there's a loophole. I could buy me a NASCAR team, though. And I could drive my car that I own on that NASCAR team. But if I wanted to, I'm going to go be a pit boy.
Because you can't.
Huh?
You can't do it.
What makes you think you can't do it?
Oh, it's okay. So the average person that tries to get into NASCAR have to go through a certain amount of steps. You have to do a certain amount of things, and you would have to work yourself from somehow. You would somehow have to get into their program to allow you to work for NASCAR. Then you would have to get accepted and try out and work on a team. Then you would have to go to driving school to prove to them that you know how to drive this $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 car. Then you would have to pass up a certain amount of people who, again, have been doing this since they were children. I know kids that were like, when I met this young dude, he was 18, he was joining the NASCAR program. He said that his dream was to become a NASCAR driver. That's how I kind of got in the conversation with him. And he was like, if he continues on the path he's continuing to go down with the NASCAR company, that he won't be able to get behind the wheel of a seat in a race for about 20 years. And this was like him starting at 18. No, that's what I'm saying. If it's like, what I'm saying is like basically like, listen. If he doesn't excel at anything, if he doesn't show them that I can handle this car, if nobody gives him a chance, if he just continues down the traditional path that he's going, becoming part of the team, becoming a pit boy, learning how to work at the pit, learning how to drive, after taking classes to learn how to drive his car, the company showing him and trusting him to let him drive the practice car, then he gets to go to practice vehicle, then that will take him to he's 38. He was like, the only way I'll actually be able to get mine with cars.
What's the youngest NASCAR driver?
Listen,
I get what you're saying.
No, you don't get what I'm saying. You don't get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to explain to you is, in order for him to become a NASCAR driver, somebody has to give him a chance. Somebody has to be like, I trust this 22-year-old dude behind a $500,000 car. Get him. Let's try him out. And if he's successful, he's successful. But if I'm just gonna wait my turn. I'm gonna walk this step. It's basically like, all right, boom. You work at the post office right now. What are the odds of you becoming a plant manager?
Oh, they're giving out manager positions like hotcakes.
No, not a manager, a plant manager. Meaning,
No.
First,
Basically,
listen. What I'm saying is certain steps you would have to take. First, you have to start working for the post office. First, you have to apply for the post office. Then you have to start working for the post office. Right now, the 18-year-old boy has just applied for the post office. He would have to start working for the post office. He would have to learn a certain section of the post office. He would have to come to a 4B. Then he would have to become a manager. He would have to become regular. He would have to become a manager of a sort. He would have to become a manager of an area, actual manager. Then he had to be cool with a person enough to make him move up to a plant. Then he would have to get this plant. Then he would have to be rub shoulders with enough people where they trust him. It would take time. Unless he comes and he's the 2 or 4B and the plant manager's like, I want to train you. Unless he takes a shortcut, it's a certain amount of time. It's a certain thing to do.
The youngest NASCAR driver currently competing in the NASCAR Cup.
He's like his early 20s. He's like 23, 24, 18.
But like you said, they start at 2 years old, start learning.
Imagine
if their parents in it too.
Imagine right now we start training person at 6 years old how to ride dirt bikes. He rides dirt bikes. He's in competition at dirt bikes from 10 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old. By the time he really hit 18, he technically could go pro.
Already, yeah.
But imagine him just starting to ride a motorcycle at 18. He don't even know how to ride. You don't know how to switch gears at 18. There are people that have been doing this their entire lives. Like they have devoted their life to this, and now you wake up like, I want to do this today, bro. You got so right now. Who is the governor? Who is the governor of the state of Georgia? Who is the mayor of Hampton? Who is in the House of Representatives for Atlanta? I mean, for Georgia. Is Georgia a Republican or Democratic state?
Republican.
You get it's certain things. I would say right now, I don't come to president, but there's a lot of stuff you got to know. Or you're Donald Trump. You'll just have so much influence in other things. You're skipping the line. Yeah. If you don't skip the line, there's a lot of time that you have missed doing things.
But it's like that with jobs. You can get jobs because you know somebody that worked there.
Yeah, you just skip the line. But I'm saying right now, if you want to become president of the United States, you would have to now devote your entire life to it. Because there are people that have been like in the Senate. Bro, I didn't even realize that Barack Obama, they're like, oh, Barack Obama came. I know Barack Obama was like in the House of Representatives for Chicago. He had been doing politics. He had been doing politics for almost a giant chunk of his life. So I'm saying, for you to have missed a giant chunk of your life doing other things, and then I know we're like, I'm going to skip the line of all the people who've been doing this their entire life. You can't do that.
Well, the president did it.
No, Donald Trump didn't do it. Donald Trump had been secretly involved in political things already. That's the whole thing. He'd been rubbing shoulders with these people already, investing in their campaign. Like Elon Musk, yeah, I'm going to fund this Republican campaign. I'm going to fund this. He's been rubbing shoulders with these people already. Right now, if you wanted to get in touch with the mayor of Hampton, where we live, do it. I would have to figure out who I can call. But imagine but imagine if someone like me, I've already been talking to people, I've already been partying with people, I've already invested in campaigns, I already know what they stand for, I already know what they're trying to do for Atlanta. It's easier for me to get there. But if you don't have any of that, can is a very real word. And I don't want to play to my kids like you can do anything. That was a lie our parents would feed us. If you want to be a president of the United States, you can. Not if you're not trying. Not if that's not what you're really walking towards. You gotta walk toward that. You really gotta really focus and walk toward that. If you're just saying, oh, but one day like we told her tonight, she wants to be a pediatrician, and I'm not really all for kids going to college and all that. I ain't really for that. I feel like it's a giant waste of money unless you're in college for something that needs a college degree. No. Listen.
Well, they have to.
But I'm saying, to me,
all
right, boom. So my homeboy
doctoring.
Yeah, but my homeboy yesterday told me, yeah, he wants to be a barber. I was like, ooh, I know somebody has a shop. You can go be an apprentice and go be a barber. No. I gotta go to school. No, you don't. Yeah, but I'm saying it's the school environment. So you basically telling me you want to go pay a bunch of. Bro, you're a grown man. You got time for that. You need to go somewhere where you can immediately start making money. You can immediately jump into this career. Barbering, being a hairdresser, working at a shop. You don't need to go to school for that. Why are you? That's why I say like Naya. Naya said she wants to be a pediatrician. Yes, go to school for that. Because you'll be dealing with kids. Don't be practicing on somebody's kids. You need to go to school. It's like, certain things, I want to be a plumber. You can be an apprentice. You don't have to go to school for that. I want to be an electrician. You can just go to certifications. You know what I'm saying? You can learn how to do. I've never been to barber school, and I know how to cut hair. And I work in barber shop because I went to a barber shop, told this dude, hey man, I want to learn how to cut hair. He said, what do you know? Well, I know how to put a guard on and snap across your head. He was like, I'm like 15 at the time. He was like, look, come here every day for like 3 hours. I'll put you in my apprenticeship program under me. And once you get your $4,000, once you get your 4,000 hours, we'll just take you down to the I can't remember what it's called, certification school, whatever that. And we'll get your certification where you will have your barber's license. That is why I tell people, bro, there are people that are wasting their time.
Yeah, they have people that they have nonprofits, like the guy that was at the health fair.
Oh yeah.
He had a nonprofit organization. And he did HVAC training, remember?
Yeah, and he also do we teach you how to speak English and stuff like that.
I'm sure it's nonprofit, so it's free.
But to me, I feel like that's my goal. I want to be able to help people achieve their dreams. And I want to be able to have so many connects in my circle that whatever you want to do, I know somebody like people always say like right now. So when so we also do insurance. So my broker asked us if you wanted to talk to Donald Trump, how would you do it? And like people were confused. I ain't gonna lie, I was very confused. I was like, I don't fucking know. Like I don't know what I thought to. I would have to go stalk the White House and hopefully sit on the line to a point where somebody don't view me as threatening. They ran my background, then I'll have a conversation with them. But I feel like that'd be a long drawn out. He literally said, just tell me you want to talk to him. If you want to talk to Donald Trump and have a serious conversation with Donald Trump, I know somebody that has Donald Trump number in their personal phone, have Donald Trump's personal phone number, and it's like, dang, like I want to be that person. Like, what do you want to do? Oh, I know somebody. Oh, I got somebody. I feel like that's what they say like everything is 2 degrees separated from us. I feel like that is real, especially here in Atlanta, bro. That's why I feel like everybody in Atlanta kind of act like they're already famous. Bro, I promise you, right now on your phone, you could probably go through 3 people to get to anybody famous in the city. You probably know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows this person.
I go to one person.
You said they personally know this person. So I feel like that's why I say I want my kids to understand Canada's a very real word. There are a lot of things right now. Bryson wants to dunk. No, you can't dunk out. You can't. But if you play basketball every day and you learn and you practice on your jumping, by the time you get to a certain height, you will be able to dunk. But right now, at your small statue of 2 feet 5, no, you can't dunk out. You can't. I don't want to just be lying to kids. I feel like our kids lie to our childhood. You can be whatever you want, Nardo. You just gotta believe. That's a lie. That is a lie. No, you can't just believe. No, you telling me right now. If I just believe that I'm gonna be a NASCAR driver.
As a kid, right? Start small. As a kid, you can believe to be whatever it is that you want to believe. You can manifest it. You can speak. You can,
No.
What he's saying is you gotta try it.
You gotta. No, you can do anything. You can be or do anything that you get up and do.
Right.
I'm not gonna say anything you dream about. No. Ain't nothing that you dream about. Anything you work that you can do.
Because that's just
either try to fail.
But again, it's changing the words.
Yeah.
Changing how you say things.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't want to tell our kids that you can't do anything. There are a lot of things you can't do.
No, you can't do anything. The word can't doesn't exist.
Yes, can't does exist. No, I know. I'm going to tell my kids can't does exist. I want you to believe can't does exist because if you never get up and work at it, you can't do that. If you never get up and move, you can't. This is not just going to be something that's dropping in your lap. I feel like that was the generation that we were told. Oh yeah, if you believe hard enough, that this will just drop in your lap. No, I don't believe that. No. Right now, Trinity just came around here, front door, around the corner. She wanted to dye her hair. No, Trinity, you can't dye your hair unless you get up and learn. Watch videos. Let your mom show you. If you don't ever go through those steps, no, you will never be able to dye your hair. You can't. If you never go pick up the dye, you can't. If you never go to the store and buy the dye, you can't dye your hair. It's impossible. But if you go these other steps, then you'll be able to do it. But if you sit around telling yourself, I'm just going to sit in my room and I'm going to hope and dream and pray that the dye is going to appear on my desk. If you never take that step, even if it disappears, even if you, Trinity, I thought you, this hair, you see this hair, and sit on my desk. If she never touches it, she never do it. You gotta action. You have to apply action.
Yeah.
If you don't apply action, no, you can't do something. Right now, we want to do a podcast. If we sit around hoping and praying and think that somebody's gonna bring some cameras to the house, and then somebody's gonna show us how to do this, and then somebody's gonna do this, and we sit around, man, bro, you have to do it. Figure it out. Somebody drop a computer in front of you, but if you never open it up, you never figure it out.
Say I had to figure it out.
That's what.
I mean, I had to figure it out. I had to literally figure things the fuck out. It was stressful.
Yeah, my father being military, he didn't do much teaching. Like, he just figured, because I thought he niggered everything, so everything was like, okay, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. That's what he felt.
Oh, I don't want to tell my kids that.
If I can do it,
you can do it. My dad told me that. They helped me out a lot, though. Because I do have that mentality. Man, you do it. I know I can do it. But then I look at my kids, and I feel like that'd be a lot of times where I feel like that could be a discouragement. Because then they start looking at the qualities that that person has over what they have. So let's say, like.
But now as an adult, I feel like it made me stronger.
Yeah, but that was because we had more ambition. We had more ambition as our kids.
I was born in the 70s, so.
Yeah, we had more ambitions. We had more.
I think so. If I want to go somewhere, like, I'll take you to how you get home. But it made me think, like,
that's why I say,
okay,
I promise
so
our kids.
take me there, we gotta try to plan something, make it solid. I had to learn the process of making it solid, to making a plan. And our kids now, like, they just be like, they're in their room.
No.
Wait, they know they're going to depend on their parents.
We coddled our kids. I feel like we coddled them to death.
I'm going outside.
No, it's not even necessarily in my mind by going outside. It was more along the lines of like, if we're going to do this, if you're going to try to do this, what are the steps to doing it? And I feel like our kids have great ideas, but I feel like they haven't thought further than the idea. It's like if, all right, cool, when Trinity wanted to die here, her mindset, I felt that was something she really wanted to do, so I felt like her mindset went through, cool, what will it take for me to dye my hair? But she was asking you, like, well, I gotta bleach it first? They gotta dye? What kind of dye I gotta use? How much dye I gotta use? How much bleach I gotta use? How much conditioner do I gotta like grease my scalp first? She went through those thoughts, but I feel like a lot of children are sitting around like, I want to be a NASCAR driver, and they ain't thought about what it would actually take to be a NASCAR driver. So I say, right now, I told you, you can't be president. Like, Trinity can actually be president of the United States. This is why I say she can, because she's young enough where now she can. I feel like from 14, she could devote her life to, I'm going to know this. By the time she hits her mid-20s, she could be on that path to actually do that. My whole thing is like, no, it's not about, no. But you gotta, no. But you have to understand, you have to understand, imagine, no, right now, imagine this. Imagine jumping into a pool, right? And you're jumping into a pool, whereas the old people you're talking about, the people your age, they're already halfway across this pool. You're jumping in this pool with people that are Trinity's age. They're going to outswim you all day long. You know why they outswim you? Because they have been trained to do this since they were children. Now they're jumping in the water. You're like, now I'm going to start training. They've been trained. You're still on the doggy paddle. They're already on their second lap. That's why I say, at this age, you can't. And I don't want people to believe like, you can put your mind to. No, you can't. You really can't. I feel you. Again, that's what I feel like. That's why. But no, but you honestly, if you think about it, that's why I feel like a lot of us as parents and as adults, we walk down this road where our parents go to college. We start in our mind. If I go to college, I'll get a job. I'm gonna go to school to be an electrician. People are just gonna give me the job to be like, no. There are other things you got to do, and it further steps further than just I'm gonna believe. I'm just gonna think about it. I don't believe that. Nah, you have to really get out here, get up and grind to get that. You got to really want that. I really feel like right now, as much as I want to be a NASCAR driver, I don't myself do anything to acquire that goal. So I've realized that if I want to be a NASCAR driver at the old age of 38 right now, Nardo will have to make enough money to buy a NASCAR team. And once I buy a NASCAR team, that will be my $500,000 car out there, and you can't tell me I can go drive my car. But again, other than that, I don't apply the necessary skill, apply the necessary practice to go do this. That's what I say. You can't. Certain things you can't do, and I don't want to walk around believing that some of your family's telling them like you do whatever you want to, not without action, not without preparation, not without practice, not without that. You have to do it. You have to put the work in. There are people. I feel like everybody can rap. Everybody can rap. You can rap Lil Wayne's song on the radio. You're rapping. It's just not your words. No, they're just not your words. But you feel like, oh, I could be as great a performer as Michael Jackson. Now if you don't get up and practice as much as Michael Jackson. Not if you don't get out there on that stage and put yourself out there. You won't. Right now, you can sing. You can definitely sing. But do you think you could be better than Beyonce? Not if you don't get behind that mic every day. Not if you don't get hard. That's why Kobe.
I don't sing while I'm on the treadmill.
No, but watch it though. You know what's so crazy? Kobe Bryant. I watched this interview, and Kobe Bryant had an interview. They were talking to him. They was like, "What do you say to the people that feel like you're a dog? That you always want to take the last shot?" And he said, "Because I look at my team. I walk in the gym, and I look at my team. I'm the first one in the gym, last one out of the gym. My whole thing is like this. I'm gonna grind every day. I'm gonna grind 40 to 50 to 100 times harder than you to play this game. Yes, it will be me. I'm not gonna put my team fade in your hands, and I watch you show up later practice.
I mean, there's a difference between good and great.
Boom. I watched the video last night.
What's
What's his name? Oh, Will Smith. I think Will Smith's going through a midlife crisis right now, but he did say something that made so much sense. Yeah, he's going through a midlife crisis. I like pretty girls. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Stop, bro. Did you see he performed in the middle of London? And he performed, and he like packed out a street in the middle of London and performed. He liked pretty girls dancing, and the song was so trash that not a person in the crowd was even clapping, cheering, nothing, singing.
Most people probably didn't even know they rap.
What? No, it's not young people. It's our age. It was just Dan. Right now, while I'm talking about it, look on your phone. Go take like type in Will Smith performs in London streets. Bro, this man standing there like, I like pretty girls, and people are just there like their phones. No reaction. No, because Will Smith. One thing I can say about Will Smith knows